Hi again, Ash. That was kind of silly with Natsuki earlier, wasn't it? I'm glad the two of you have been getting along so well. That's one way of putting it. Anyway, I already read your poem, but you can go ahead and read mine now. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Do we not even get to read Yuri's?
No.
No, she just didn't even give it to us. Okay. Save me. Jesus. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless.
Kinda like...
Load me? What does that mean?
Save me, load me.
Oh, like video games. But I like how she left like the whole meaningless thing, like this is just empty here. I'm trying to like decipher this. What do you think it means?
I think it's kind of meaningless.
I mean, that's the point of it, I guess, yeah.
But I also think that the beginning and the end have more meaning than we realize at the moment. I think that has something to play with the, like, game-breaking mechanics that we know.
Okay. Let's see.
It's even more abstract than your last one, huh?
I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it.
No, I never said that. It's just the kind of thing I've never seen before, I guess.
I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I
see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though.
Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway. Oh, is that what Ash said? Okay, I might have read your line there. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game.
Okay.
You never know when you might change your mind.
Okay, so in other words, we need to save.
A little more often.
Yeah.
Or when something unexpected may happen. Wait. Is this a tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Oh my god, what the fuck?
So maybe after this class, we should save in a separate slot, and that can just be our everything's normal at this point slot.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned for today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room.
Is this about the festival?
Well, sort of.
Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. My brain is dying. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members.
That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayuri has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets that we can give out during the event.
Okay, that's great and all. But that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event.
Ah, sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing.
Performing?
Monica? Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it all in the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see.
You're kidding me, Monica. You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you?
Well, I did. Do you really think that's bad an idea?
Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that now.
I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys! No, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. I remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it'll inspire the others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature's all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with the others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice.
I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a bit more. Well, maybe, but...
It looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left.
Okay, fine. I guess we'll just have to get it over with.
Alright! Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri! This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other.
I'm always drinking. No way!
Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. And finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica! Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. What? Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in a structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayuri hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled.
Sayuri?
It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so
Oh
easily?
my god.
Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your own poem, so it'll come out the best that way. Hey, what's up, Elephant Toe? Welcome to the stream.
I still don't catch up, but hello.
You didn't is that a chat? You're not even connected. I would, like, close the stream and open it
Yeah,
again.
sometimes my stream manager glitches out. I'll just reopen it. Hoi.
Alright, where are we? It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayuri begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayuri is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayuri's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayuri meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayuri finishes and we applaud. I did it!
Good job, Sayuri.
Even Ash liked it. I guess that's a good sign.
What's that even mean?
It came out nicely, Sayuri. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. Eh? I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. Then next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now who's next? Natsuki?
Don't make me go before Ash. It's not like I compare any of you guys anyway. Might as well let Ash lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it.
Natsuki?
It's fine. I might as well go and get it over with. It's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. Just have to go with what I wrote for today.
I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway.
Sorry, I'm not really good as everyone else.
How's your night going there, Elephant Toe? Or anybody else that's here, feel free to answer that question.
Why?
Hope you're enjoying your Monday.
If you speaketh, we speaketh back.
Yeah, we'll respond to you, and you can cut us off. It's all good. Let's see. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about the lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. That's you.
Oh. Yeah, maybe. I get distracted by a big bum.
All right then. That just leaves you, Natsuki.
Yeah. I'm going.
Natsuki begrudgingly sets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium.
This poem is called... It's called... Why are you looking at me?
Because you're presenting?
Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Jump
Natsuki
off a
takes a
wedge.
breath. Once she starts reciting her poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it?
Easy for you to say. Better not make me do that again.
Well... Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people?
I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. When it's just my friends. It's just embarrassing.
That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me.
No, I get it. Well, that's just how it is, so...
Oh yeah, you gotta get to that laundry. I get it. We slowly work the system out. Now we get our laundry done mostly on time.
Yeah, I actually should do some more.
That just gave me some like PTSD though when we didn't have a laundry machine and we kept having to go to Barb's laundromat.
We need bins. We have too much clothing.
Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting.
Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead.
That's fine too. Excuse me. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival's coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. Are we talking about Monica? I don't think Monica's gonna show her feet.
That would be nice.
Welcome to the stream, Zoro. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As far as the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait! I can do this! I can do this!
Alright.
I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayuri and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica. Then I'll have to do my best.
Ready to go, Sayori?
Yep!
Look at you two, always going home together like that.
It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Hehe.
Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it.
It must be a little nice, though.
Well,
How am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Ash. You don't have to say it.
whatever. Let's go already.
I walk home with Sayuri once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayuri's being a little quieter than usual on the way home.
I think we should save. Just in case. Hey, Sayori.
Sorry, I was spacing out.
No wonder.
I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayuri fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Natsuki asked to walk home with you.
Huh?
What would you do?
What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here.
Hehe. She's gonna commit suicide. Well, I mean, like... We would just answer honestly, right?
Yeah.
We're just gonna answer honestly.
Walking home with Natsuki, huh?
Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? Yeah, see, like, we're trying to romance Natsuki in this.
I think I would be afraid of what she'd do to me if I turned her down.
Isn't she so cute and fun to be around?
That has nothing to do with what I just said.
You admitted it!
Jeez. It's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen.
Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you need me anymore, you know?
Need you? Sayori? I cannot figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now.
Sorry.
Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you.
If you say so. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time. Alright, well, time to make a poem.
Sugar. Ocean. Vibrant. It's getting less and less happy words.
Yeah.
Comfort. Lollipop. Always lollipop.
Bunny.
Bunny.
Pink.
Yeah. But either.
Poof.
Yeah. Dazzle.
Dazzle's a little more than poof, you know? Fun. Lucky.
Just fun. It's fine.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Nibble.
Skirt.
Skirt. Nibble. Or...
Nibble works. Rainbow. Sparkle.
We're really catering to Sayuri this time.
It's always between the two of them. Fluffy.
Love.
Yeah. Or strawberry either. Marshmallow. Bubbles. Sunny.
Hair or twirl or sunny.
Yeah.
Cute.
Cute works. It's cute. Parfait.
Parfait.
Puppy.
Depression. Puppy. Pout.
Sure.
Aw, man. I'm the last one here again.
Don't worry, I just walked in too.
Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Huh. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up a piano. Picking up piano. Just... Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too.
I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great.
Eh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki?
Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. But it's a whole day of the school where you get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. Same though. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden.
It's you.
Oh, Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Sorry, I was looking at fried squid and I was hungry. I got distracted.
Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to.
Aw, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You, of all people?
I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people?
Because you're a squid. It's right in your name. Monica.
Eh?
Ika.
That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Exactly. Didn't make any sense for me.
Question marks.
Never mind. Yes, he's breaking fourth wall. That was totally...
Take that.
Monica keeps doing that.
Yep.
Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay?
Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri or Sayori's anyway. Which, is Sayori here? Because
Probably.
she's not talking.
Hopefully. Excuse me. Oh. Where is
Sayori anyway? That's Mag's line.
Hurry up.
Oh, there you are. The last line was mine and you said it at the same time. Was what I was saying.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, that's my line.
I thought that was Yuri that said that. Okay. Never mind. So Yuri's sitting at the desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her.
Hey, Sayori.
I wave my hand in front of her face. Eh?
You're spacing out again.
Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else.
Is everything alright?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things.
Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile.
Yeah, the last one was right before we rejected her, so.
Yeah. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone.
Well, alright. If you say so.
I'm leaning forward so much it's starting to hurt my back. There we go. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else, but the conversation has already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must have been spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Ash, what's up?
Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently?
Anything up with her? In what way do you mean?
Maybe I'm reading a little too much into it, but she seems a little downcast today.
Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Ash. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Oh, I get it. I don't know why that didn't make sense to my head.
Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. This time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now.
No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know. Maybe I'll try talking to her myself.
Are you sure about that? Seemed like she wanted to be left alone.
Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest.
Person of interest? What do you mean by that?
I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Ash.
Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion?
Well, I probably shouldn't be saying too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know?
Eh?
She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her.
What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it's always been.
You're so funny, Ash. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so just forget about what I said, okay? I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now.
Okay. Alright.
Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting.
And
I watch
stabs
her
her
kneel-
to fuck.
Jeez. No. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice quiet, so I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayuri told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh down on me so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica.
Hey, you.
I look up to see Natsuki next to me.
Are you just gonna sit there and keep staring at nothing? There isn't that much time, so... sorry? I didn't mean to make you worry or anything. It's not like I'm worried. I was just...
Natsuki glances down at her side.
Oh, fuck yourself.
She's holding up a volume of manga in her head.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Something just came up for a minute, but we can get started now. I won't make you wait any longer.
Jeez. Now you make me feel like a jerk.
If something's bothering you, then you just tell me to leave you alone and I will.
I mean,
Assuming you didn't feel like talking about it or anything.
She practically mumbles that last part.
Nah, I'm probably making a bigger deal than it is. I've just been thinking about Sayori, that's all.
Sayuri? Oh wait, that's you.
I'm like, what?
thinking about her.
Yeah, she seems pretty down today. But she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened. Oh.
Natsuki exhales.
Well, first of all, you should really work on your phrasing. But anyway, you're her best friend, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. Then in that case, I think you should trust her a little more. If she needed you, then you'd be the first person she'd go to, right?
I mean, I guess that's true.
I mean, some people just have those days.
You can't always avoid it. If anything, she probably doesn't want you to worry about her because it's just not important. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what she said to me. Maybe it's just not right for me to go against her wishes.
Exactly. She needs you to worry about her, then it'll be a lot more obvious.
Yeah. This is like the opposite of reach out to your friends.
Yeah.
Don't check in on your friends, they'll let you know. I should have thought that way from the start.
Natsuki fiddles with the book she's holding in her hands.
She really means a lot to you, doesn't she?
Don't get the wrong idea or anything. We've just been friends for a long time. It's normal to be worried about your friends. I mean, you were worried about me, so...
I was not. Jeez, if you're fine, then let's hurry up and get started already.
Yeah. Don't hurt me.
Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything's back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. Excuse me. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she's talking about with Sayuri.
Let's see.
You're certainly enthusiastic today.
Of course. You know I like your writing.
I'm just surprised. Okay, you get another drink because that's been empty.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna die.
Let's take a second. This is a lot of reading, and like I know something at any point in time is gonna happen and make this game more interesting, but right now it is kind of slogging along like fucking Nico Parra did.
Especially when I use both sides of the conversation sometimes and I get talked.
I'm gonna go get another energy drink.
You're wild.
I'm fucking wild. We went to a local Chinese place in town and got a bunch of Chinese food like before this. And the people there are just so solid. They gave us like extra stuff.
Yeah, they gave us a fully consomme soup, and I was just like, oh yes, I'm so happy.
I love supporting local
Yeah.
if I can. Local restaurants are the shit. Everybody loves food. I think if you don't
Especially Lucy.
if you don't enjoy food in some sort of manner, I think you're kind of crazy. But
I mean, there definitely have been periods in my life where I haven't enjoyed food really, but
oh well, yeah,
it's for other reasons.
you were crazy at the time.
And, true.
I mean, to put it bluntly, that's mental illness.
True.
Like,
Fair.
I'm not shitting on anybody, but
Goose.
you know, having an eating disorder is a mental illness. I'd say anyway.
Goose.
Not to, I don't even know. Maybe, I guess so.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor,
it's,
so.
it's an eating disorder, so yeah.
Alright.
Goosey, goosey, goose.
Well, of course.
I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything stupid like that. Or jealous. I really wasn't jealous. Go fuck yourself. Just because you happen to be a good fighter? That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Natsuki? What?
That was loud.
No, that's
That
appropriate.
was loud for myself.
I liked it.
You're not very confident about your fighting, are you?
What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best. Right?
It took me a while to figure out, but I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. If she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too. Right?
Right?
Star Wars meme? Right?
Anakin's face is so creepy in that
Yeah.
freaking panel.
Ash, please just tell me you like my poems.
You know, just
Yeah.
I don't care if you hate me.
I hate them.
Just please tell me I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. I know I sound stupid. You're stupid though. But there's a reason I never shared my poems before this.
Just keep saying Natsuki.
Because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point of sharing my poems if people just laugh and say, "That's cute, just like you, Natsuki. Go fuck yourself. I don't want to be cute." Nobody ever understands that. Try really hard when I write. Style doesn't matter. Emotions are there. Why can't anyone see that? I just want
Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lips started to quiver.
to fight people.
I look down. That's like funny that you're wearing like the Natsuki wig today too. Her fists are clenched really tightly.
Hey, Natsuki. If you're not careful, you rip your own poem.
I gently grab the poem with my own hand until she relaxes her grip on it. I place it flat on the desk and smooth out the wrinkles that she just put into it.
Don't read it!
Before I can pick it back up, Natsuki snatches the poem up from her desk.
It's not any good. And I know you hate my poems.
Shut up.
You don't have to read this one, okay? But I want to read it. Why? Because I like your poems. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it. But I know you better now. And it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Sayori, she always means well. But sometimes she's focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. Yeah, I guess I never really understood how hard it was for you.
Jeez, keeps going.
And I'm sorry if I was part of that problem. I'm fucking tired.
You
I
don't have to
understand
read for
now.
a while after this. It's gonna be all me pretty much after this.
You're not just cute, you're a lot more than that. Natsuki, you're doing it again.
Once again, Natsuki clutches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set her poem on the table.
You can read it. Just turn that way. Don't look at me. I don't want you to look at my face. Okay, I will.
Because you. The music changes to like her music. Tomorrow will be brighter with me around, but when today is dim, I can only look down. My looking is a little more forward because you look at me. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout, but my truest feelings can never come out. My words are a little less empty because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars, but when I feel small, I don't get very far. My standing is a little bit taller because you sit with me. I believe in myself with all my heart, but what do I do when it's torn all apart? My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted me. My pen always puts feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little bit dearer because you think of me. Because you. Aww.
Ew.
She
Why are
clearly
you
wrote
looking at
this
me
for
like
us.
that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad. No, it's not that I don't like it. It was just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm just not used to hearing such nice things coming from you. Don't say that, dummy. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things that you can't just say. Yeah, I understand. Sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well. Happy you showed this one to me. I liked it. Well, yeah. I'm a pro, so...
Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does.
Just remember that I can think these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's meaningful. I'm glad.
Sensing Natsuki's satisfied, I started to hand the poem back to her. But as I do so, Natsuki takes my hands and pushes them back away. Her small, soft hands surprise me with their assertion.
I don't want it. Why not? I just don't. Jeez.
I realize what Natsuki is doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way.
In that case, I guess I'm just gonna keep it.
Instead of teasing her, I choose to go along with it.
Good. If you didn't, I would... Stabby stabs. Never mind. I'm just glad that you want it.
Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, I can see her faintly smiling to herself.
It's all for now, so... Go put it away before someone sees, okay? Yeah. I'll go do that.
With that, I return to my seat so that I can put away Natsuki's poem. It's like clearly she loves us.
Oh god.
There we go. It's nice, I guess. Oh.
Come on, I can already tell you don't like it.
Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Natsuki.
I didn't write this for anyone specifically.
Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though.
Favored her.
Yeah, I know. But it's okay. You're making new friends just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club?
Well, of course I am.
Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Ash.
Sayori, is there something wrong?
Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today.
Alright. Just tell me if you need anything.
I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now.
If you insist.
Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today.
Sayori?
Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I could say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself.
Maybe save? Yeah.
Let's sleep over this one.
Yeah.
This one right here is important. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
we need to
over
save
it.
that-
Can I,
that one.
rename that? No? Okay.
You'd probably have to load it from the main point. You didn't accident. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't accidentally save over it.
Alright, let's show Yuri next. Yuri doesn't look too enthusiastic about spending time with me. I guess if she changes her mind, she'll come to me. But I should leave her be for now.
Oh, shite. We can't even show it to you.
She just doesn't even want to look at it. Monica.
Shit's getting crazy fast, I think.
Yep. Hi, Ash. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival?
Well...
Being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people?
That's a lot. I'll have to give it some more thought.
Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem.
Sure.
I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Sticking with the Natsuki style once more, I see. You really like Natsuki, don't you?
That's...
Oh, come on, Ash. It's awfully suspicious, you know? You're sus as hell. Spending time with her in the club room every day, pretending to like the manga she's into.
You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me.
Eh? No, I think you're misunderstanding, Ash. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have.
Is that so?
I kind of knew that, but I just didn't want to admit it. So, I just need to ask one thing of you. Be careful, please. Natsuki is kind of unpredictable. A lot of the time, she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She may not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club too. And you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want to do that to me, right?
That's...
I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. While I care about her in the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. Monica smiles sweetly. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright?
Oh, wait.
The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer. All meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am. A feather. Lost adrift the sky, the victim of its current of the wind. Day after day I search. I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilit sky. Sorry, I couldn't tell what that was saying with the handwriting. Until one day the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall, and I fall even more. Gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. This is a long piece of paper, dude. This is extra long. But the hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. Whoa.
Monica's a god, or some shit. I don't know.
You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it's kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about.
I see. I've never really put that much thought into it.
In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning?
Now, this one thing I noticed. Seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy.
Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone.
You mean one-dimensional?
Another reference.
Yeah?
Because she knows she's a 2D fucking image. Yeah, that! Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Jesus Christ, Monica, you're fucking with me.
Monica's flowy, I'm just saying.
Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you what you're writing, that your writing is good, or okay, or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it, and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out...
Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now?
Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase.
Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it.
Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen.
In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here.
It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around.
Where the heck did she run off to anyway? Thought she just went to pee.
Natsuki, please show some decency.
Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early.
Is that so? I hope she's alright.
Seriously? Of all times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it.
Oh.
That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people.
Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine.
What did she say?
Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend.
I already know what I'm doing.
That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we might need a lot of them and different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki?
Challenge accepted.
And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too.
Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around.
That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations and help set up the atmosphere. The atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere! Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself.
I can do that. I can have the atmosphere. Your mind is already racing, I see.
That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Ash.
The one who is truly useless.
Don't say that! In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that.
That's...
Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members?
Oh.
How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help.
Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give you. Wash, make dishes. It's not like Monica's gonna give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyways.
Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Ash may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, He may be more suited to assisting with the decorations.
Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Ash to.
What are you saying? It'll be extremely meticulous work.
And baking isn't? Just what do you think?
Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Ash to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten a chance to spend time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in...
You literally just said...
I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though.
Jeez. Can we just settle this already?
Yeah. Ash, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you.
We should save before this decision, probably. Of course.
Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me.
Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. You guys make it sound like a lot of work, so I probably could use 2 people. Don't worry. Baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree.
Eh? Just a minute ago you were saying that...
That's because... Never mind, okay?
Well, anyway, you'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it after all. Okay. That's good. Oh, okay. Even though Yuri's being melodramatic, it's a little hard to not feel bad.
So that's everything, right? Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited?
Yeah! Yes. Everything except the performance is gonna be awesome! I don't think that really counts.
What about you, Ash?
Me? I guess you could say I'm interested in how it will all turn out.
That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri?
She's still sulking.
Natsuki starts pouting too.
It's not... I mean, it's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not be just that. Yeah. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. Like, you kind of forgot about her. Having to come up with something just for her to do and then nobody offering to help. That doesn't mean...
Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression.
Look.
Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders.
Yuri, you really are the most talented one here. And you're gonna help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, though. But you're gonna make the atmosphere special. But I'm gonna bring cupcakes. And that'll be really important for the way people feel during their performance.
And Ash is gonna hang out with me. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna make cupcakes.
Exactly. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit.
Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you?
Not really, but...
Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monika and I are also taken back by Natsuki's words. Natsuki, of all people, should be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayuri. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayuri would say at a time like this. Because Sayuri always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best. And all of us are going to make a really great event.
Yeah!
Yeah! I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out.
Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely got any reading today, so...
Fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monika and Yuri out the door as they chat between each other.
Where are you going?
We're going for a break.
Yeah.
That's where we're going.
I am down for that, actually.
I'm just gonna save again.
We are having a quickie in the classroom.
Okay, give us a second, guys. We're just gonna plop on the BRB screen, and then we'll be back. We're just gonna go smoke a quick bowl, and...
I'm scared of what may
And
happen.
we think things are gonna get fucked up now, so there's that.
We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gone home, realized you didn't have any way to contact me.
That's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind.
Geez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You better not make it weird or anything.
Why would I do that?
Natsuki gives me her number.
Okay. I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Oh, wait! You're coming to my house? Well, yeah.
No.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I just figured since I'm the one helping, I'd be going to your house.
Yeah, right. Like, I could have a guy over at my house. My dad would kill me.
Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me.
Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just need to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. Get out. Text you when I'm coming over.
Alright, fine by me.
Yeah. I'm really gonna show you why I love baking so much. So you'd better look forward to it. I'm gonna punch you.
Oh? Didn't you say you were gonna give me all the dirty work?
Well, I was just saying that. It's not like I could act in front of everyone. I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. That's it. So... Alright, I got it.
Sorry for overreacting. I'll just be heading out now. See you on Sunday.
Never mind.
I can't believe this. Natsuki is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this the chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off of it. I seriously can't wait. Oh, you'll be taking your mind off it when you find out your friend died. Oh, never mind. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Natsuki's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. I wonder if she'll act any different when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, she's been texting me a lot. We sent each other one after exchanging numbers to double check.
But I turned into the conversation.
Okay, yeah, a text I think is what that is inferring. She's almost a different personality on the phone, using tons of emoji and cute language. She also really likes complaining about things, but I kind of saw that one coming. But putting Natsuki aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayuri since she left club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayuri said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayuri's feelings aside when she might need me?
Bitch, just knock on her door. Like, yeah, exactly.
I decided to visit Sayuri before Natsuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayuri's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, notice how the music stopped, by the way.
Yep.
Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayuri isn't anywhere on the first floor. I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to the bedroom, where I finally find her.
Sayuri? Oh, okay,
Hi,
she's
Ash.
alive.
I sit down in her room. Sayuri forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us.
Also, does nobody have parents, or like, are we
Yeah.
in university, or?
I don't know. They're in high school, I thought.
I thought so, but there's no parents in sight.
You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you?
I guess you're right. Has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it?
Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess.
That's because I end up cleaning it for you.
How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to be seeing Natsuki today?
Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that?
Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right?
That's true. What about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today?
Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything.
So it's just me and Natsuki then.
Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point.
I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday. And something's wrong. You can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So...
Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Ash.
Eh?
Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me.
Sayori?
I grab Sayori by the shoulders.
What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it.
Sayori gives me an empty smile.
You really put me in a trap?
Oh, you really put me in a trap, Ash. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time.
Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori?
You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, Ash? I guess I have no choice this time.
I have depression.
Thing is,
Yeah.
I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late for school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste my having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her?
Why, Sayori?
Eh?
Why is it you've never told me about this? Almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even though there's only so much I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little bit better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you have to do is tell me.
You don't understand at all, Ash. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have had to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make...
I'm Sayori as well.
Yeah.
Mood.
That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then, I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right. Oh, that's you.
You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do.
No, Ash. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that you could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayuri's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish, and I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and it made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments, because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grabbed Sayuri's shoulders. This time, I pull her into a tight embrace. Ah, Ash.
Sayuri, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. And I get a fucking harem. If I make friends with everyone else, that's just a bonus. Please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Ash. Sayuri isn't tugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayuri's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Ash. Sayuri barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want for her to know is that I care.
If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Gently, Sayuri finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Ash. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm. And that's really scary, too. Sayuri lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The
festival is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah.
How would you like me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise.
I think that would be nice then. You're shaking the whole shelf.
You was watching, making sure nothing came falling down.
Bluffed me.
Blep, blep, blep. Yeah.
Sayuri wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would.
Of all days, this has to be one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel.
No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you.
But it's almost time for Natsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun.
To my surprise, Sayuri shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right?
It's kind of hard for me to fully understand. But I'm trying my hardest.
It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Alright. I'll look forward to it. Don't invite your crush to a harem if you don't want him to like other girls.
I say goodbye to Sayuri and exit her house.
At least express your feelings first.
Yeah, I don't know. She did make
I
a
don't know
mistake
what
there.
she expected from that one. She's
Well,
like,
give him
now
more
I am
options.
hurt that there are cute girls around you. Oh no.
On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Natsuki is about to come over too. I think Sayuri is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. Something bad's gonna happen at this fucking festival. I spend only a few minutes back at home, anxiously awaiting Natsuki's arrival. Before I know it, she texts me to let me know she's outside the front door. Without delay, I open the front door to let her in.
Sup. Hey.
I don't know what I was expecting, but seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off.
That is such an outfit I would wear too.
Seeing her in such cute clothes makes the uniform seem totally unfitting in comparison.
Jeez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's gonna be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in. I
see you bought a lot of stuff.
Natsuki is carrying a large bag that is probably full of baking supplies.
Well, I didn't want to come all this way to find out that your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. You bought everything I asked you to, right? Yeah, I did.
Yesterday, Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home.
Good.
Same.
I'm glad I could count on you to do your part.
Well, of course.
Oh, it's too far away too. Oh, I just have to deal with this. Getting tired of having my hand on the desk. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly say that, rather than something snarky like she usually does. It could be that she's a little different outside of school, after all.
Anyway, let's go to the kitchen. What, you're not even gonna offer to take this heavy bag from me? Where's your hospitality? Come on. Since when do I need to be a gentleman?
I grab the bag Natsuki holds out to me.
This is ridiculously heavy. I carried that all the way here. Are you impressed?
I see now. Yeah, I am impressed, Natsuki. Seems like I always underestimate you.
So if we're going to be doing Natsuki and Ash all the time, I could take one of the voices if you want. It's up to you.
Do you want to do my voice for this? I'll just do Natsuki then.
Okay, sure.
It's because I'm so small, isn't it?
You jerk.
Natsuki hits a fist into my chest. Hey! Your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate me for being small that much?
It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun to get to be small and also better than other people. Mood.
That's...
Geez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about all weird things just because you went on at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I gotta teach you. What?
It's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that.
Hey! Now you are treating me like a kid. I was trying to be a little nicer to you, you know. And just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri, doesn't mean you should treat me like...
Natsuki catches her words, and her face turns red. Natsuki,
Forget it! I didn't say anything.
I should apologize.
Eh?
I appreciate that you were trying to be nicer. I should have been a little more considerate, too. But also, if that's what you're thinking, then you should know that there are tons of guys who are into body types like yours.
How would you know that anyway?
Just trust me on this one. Winky wink.
Yeah. Gross.
Hey! Was that to me?
Who else?
Man. Let's just get started already.
You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. Finally found your weakness.
Natsuki smells deviously. Please spare me. Well, if Natsuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not fighting back. But she's satisfied enough for now, finally starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. Before long, the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour, spilled fluid, and plastic bags are strewn about every countertop. The mixture
Fluid.
isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we've had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Natsuki is babysitting all of my movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking.
Where did you put the food coloring? That is going to be in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays.
I think it's in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for?
To color the batter, of course. Making each tray a different color. That way, even if the flavors aren't different, everyone can still pick their favorite.
Ah, that's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing?
Do you want to?
You're asking me? I don't really have a preference, so...
Come on! You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can't you at least try to have fun?
Oh my god, this is so mean.
I'm having fun. I'm not really sure what Natsuki's trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter into smaller bowls and put a few drops of food coloring at each. Ah, that does look pretty cool.
See? It's not like baking is all just about following instructions. The presentation is where you get to be creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end if just looking at it makes everyone's eyes light up.
Like the ones you made on the first day, huh? I recall Natsuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes and Sayuri and Monika's delighted expressions. I wonder if I can make Natsuki proud like that too. Yeah, maybe I'll use the food coloring then.
Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess with the food coloring.
Yeah, it's getting there. We were using the electric mixer for the batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for the icing.
Eh? The icing is still all lumpy. Are you even trying?
Well, yeah. It'll just take a little longer.
Jeez, I'll be here all night if you do it like that. Here, look.
Natsuki grabs the whisk from me and uses her other hand to tilt the bowl back.
You really need to beat the crap out of it.
After a few seconds, the consistency of the icing has already improved.
See?
As if to emphasize, Natsuki sticks a finger in the icing and pops it in her mouth. I reluctantly start to do the same.
Hey!
Natsuki suddenly grabs my wrist.
I don't want your gross fingers in my icing.
Your icing, eh? Are you forgetting who did all the work? I start to fight back, trying to inch the finger toward the bowl.
I am sorry for the PTSD this is causing you.
This is something that happens for us.
This is literally me. Don't make me beat the crap out of you now. Oh my god, I didn't even see that line.
I'd like to see you try. I push harder, just enough for my finger to reach the icing. I triumphantly scoop with my finger just as Natsuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Natsuki pulling me causes me to stumble, making her stumble in turn.
Gross. Got it in my face.
Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of icing on Natsuki's cheek.
Got it on her face. Yeah.
She tries to reach it with her tongue, but it's too far away.
Jeez. You know what? Take this.
Natsuki instead wipes it off with her finger before shoving her finger toward my own face.
You wish. Oh, bye.
Yeah, that's me now. I am Ash.
You is Ash.
You wish. I'm faster. I grab her wrist with my hand before it reaches my face. Natsuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I grab that one as well.
Oh.
Hey, stop.
Not until you apologize for calling me gross.
Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. You know I don't mean it. It's just fun seeing you react to it. You do that to me all the time, you know. Saying dumb things just get a reaction out of me. Shouldn't tease girls like that.
Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Natsuki's finger and put it in my mouth, licking off the icing.
Gonna happen.
What? Did you seriously just...
Natsuki is so surprised that she can't figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red.
Ash, you really shouldn't do that kind of things to girls unless you really, really like them. You know that, right?
What kind of question is she asking me just like that? How did the mood turn to this so quickly?
I don't know, you pinned her against a wall?
Natsuki gazes at me in silence. I notice her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? Out of nowhere, the fire alarm starts going off. Natsuki rushes over to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet.
God. No wonder. You left a dirty tray in here, dummy. How could you make a mistake like that?
You should have checked before turning the oven on.
Don't blame me for your mistakes. You do not know how many times I've done that.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Natsuki uses an oven mitt to grab the blackened tray out of the oven. She sets it on top of the stove, and in another moment the fire alarm stops.
Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now.
Yeah. The tension from the moment before still lingers over our heads, but the moment has already been lost. I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcake trays into the oven. Then I reluctantly pick up the whisk and continue with the icing, like nothing ever happened.
Ah, that Smells so good.
The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. As soon as Natsuki opens the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room.
Now I'm baking.
Me too.
Let's go get some baking after. Fuck it. Oh, look how cute they all look.
She proudly shows off the different colored cupcakes in each of the trays.
They'll look even better once we add the icing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll look even better once we add the icing.
Not like you need to tell me that. I bought the decorating stuff, so I hope you can get creative. Here, scoop the icing into these bags.
Natsuki hands me some plastic bags.
I have these nozzles that will make it look nice and fluffy. This one can even make flowers. We probably won't be using it this time, though.
What's this one for? I pick up one of the nozzles that is much thinner tip than the rest of the others.
That one's really thin, so you can make stripes or other patterns. But you can also use it to write on a cake. Like happy birthday or whatever.
Huh. I see. That gives me an idea, actually.
Eh?
Well, it's a literature event, right? We could make it more literature-themed by writing a different word on each of the cupcakes. It'd be fun to see the people choose their cupcake based on the word they like.
Ooh. I was kind of expecting you to say something stupid. But that's actually a cute idea, so...
Maybe I'm getting it from you.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm not cute!
Come on. We're not at school. Nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute.
Oh, well...
Natsuki's voice trails off.
Same with you!
Eh? Did you say something?
No, nothing. Let's just do the icing.
Natsuki picks up the paste and fastens a nozzle into each of the bags.
There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't be wasting time. Here, I'll show you how to do it.
Without giving me a chance to think about before, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. When we're finally finished, Natsuki puts them all side by side to admire our work.
Look how pretty they are together.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Ugh, I wish I could have one now.
Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that.
Well, yeah, but my dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite.
Sayuri's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already. And she would still eat dinner.
Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I need to eat as much of it as I can. Well, anyway. I was hoping we'd have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner.
Already? That's a shame.
It's your fault for working so slowly. Should have thought about that. It's not like you'll always have this chance.
Man. As usual, Natsuki places the blame on me. Fuck.
You can bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Sayuri each carry some, you can probably do it in one trip.
Yeah, I can do that. And don't worry, I won't let her eat any.
That won't stop it. I wish you would listen to me the way she listens to you.
Yeah. I again think back to the conversation I had with Sayuri earlier today. I felt so helpless. Sayuri always does listen to me, but at that point it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all.
Okay, well, I'm all packed up. Good work today.
You too. I'll walk you out, I guess. Just like that, Natsuki is already about to leave. It feels like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get closer to her like I wanted?
You pinned her against a wall. Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. See you tomorrow.
Wait, Natsuki.
Eh?
What you said before about not always having this chance, it doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. You showed me how fun baking can be like you wanted. But aside from that, you can come over anytime, okay? I think that if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere.
Do you really mean that?
Natsuki looks at me tensely. She's trying to hide her expression. Yeah, I want to spend more time with you.
Ash. Thought you only cared about getting this done. Ooh woo. Ooh woo! Wasn't quite ooh woo, but it's an ooh woo now. I'm sorry to have to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I really wanted to stay longer if I could. I feel the same as you, so...
Natsuki suddenly gets closer
don't
to
get
me.
a kiss?
Wait, Natsuki! Standing inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her fingers gently clutch at the sides of my shirt as if holding on to me. Her rose-colored cheeks and matching eyes fill my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. What is happening? My head starts to go dizzy as I feel her soft breaths against mine.
I've felt it for a while now.
Penis. Natsuki suddenly jumps back. Sayuri? Oh, wait.
I thought that was gonna happen. I'm like, Sayuri's watching, isn't she?
That's what she said, yeah. Eh? Ah! Hi, Ash. Sayuri. Just now, we weren't... It's okay, Ash. I just stopped by to say hi.
Well, you should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out, so...
Aw, really? That's too bad.
Yeah, well... I'll still see you at the festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later. Peace and love.
Clearly
Fuck out.
flustered, Natsuki hurries off and Sayuri waves goodbye.
Sayuri, I thought you didn't want to come over today.
Well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. And I almost killed myself, so I had to come here and see for myself just what kind of perversions you guys were getting up to.
Yeah, exactly. See what? What are you talking about?
You know, how much fun you were having with Natsuki, and how close you got with her. It makes me really happy that you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayuri's face. That's all that matters to me, damn it! Why am I feeling this way, Ash? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayuri, don't say that. Oh, yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have sympathy for her, but I'm also like, she literally did this to herself. She was like, come join my hot girl club.
It's true, Ash. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Wait, what?
I told you Monica encouraged her.
You should just kill yourself. Yeah, you're actually...
Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayuri, what I said before is true. I'm not gonna let this continue. Caring about you isn't a burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. Something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm gonna be by your side until you don't feel any more pain.
But... Sayuri looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Ash. I'm really scared.
What are you scared of?
I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me.
Sayuri.
It's true, isn't it?
Well, it's your damn fault.
I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Ash, I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that...
That's enough, Sayuri. I don't want you to hurt anyone.
I slide my hand down Sayuri's arm and squeeze her hand into my own.
Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me?
Wordlessly, Sayuri nods.
Even if you don't understand all your own feelings. I know what you need most right now. And that's what I'm gonna give you.
The D.
Ooh. Say I love you, because honestly it can, you know... I don't know.
It's tough, like, she could think that, like...
Like, she'll probably interpret it badly, like, and I'm sure that's probably the way the game means it, but...
I think we should choose the friend option. But...
I'm not... Yeah.
What's up? What do you think? I don't know. We could just say it to make her happy. But, like... I don't know if we can
I don't know if it helps
If you say
anything
yes,
either.
if you say you love them, can you just, like, get with all the girls, or what? I don't know.
Because I don't want that to happen either. I don't want to, like, initiate, like, a double, like, relationship situation going on in the game. Because what if that happens? What if, like, you say this to her?
I think there's issues no matter what. I think it's just you'll always
friend.
That's fine. It's just there's gonna be things no matter what. I think.
We've made our decision. Our decision is to romance Natsuki, and that is the path
It's
we're
all
taking.
Natsuki all the time this round. If we need to go back and change our minds,
That's
we'll
true.
do it.
Yeah, we have saves too. I have a spot back like way before
Yeah.
we even started making decisions to romance anybody. So I'm not gonna save over that one either. It's the third slot.
Yeah.
Because that was the first decision.
Well, I mean, we had kind of romanced Natsuki before that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind starting from the beginning and just like
Because
clicking
the
through
classroom scenes, I'm pretty sure, can be different. Because
Yeah.
we just strictly went towards Natsuki.
I would just restart the game if I
Yeah.
wanted to, honestly, and just like click through the beginning, and then just like at that point, I feel like once you do the first poem, that's when things start to change right there.
Yeah.
The first point
And also,
where you
like,
make
if you
decisions.
if you look at the words and select them more like spooky based, you could probably get Yuri. You know.
That's what I'm
versus-
saying. Yeah, like if you go through like the first the crossword, the first poem you do is like the first choice you make essentially.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Yuri's probably like a fun one. We're gonna play this game again, I bet.
Yeah, I have a feeling I might even end up playing it on my own, just clicking through quickly, trying different
Yeah.
loads.
You'll always be my dearest friend.
What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seem since I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help things get back to the way they were.
I see. Sayuri forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this.
Sayuri?
It's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just wanted to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone else, Ash. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So, Sayuri's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. Closing her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayuri looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off.
Sayuri! It's fine, just have a fucking complete mental break and bolt off.
I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? This girl's got mental health issues. This is not how you react to a guy not liking you. I'm sorry. You don't just, like, go kill yourself.
I mean, been there. Get those vibes.
No.
But also,
No.
she needs help.
There's nothing more that I could have done. There's so many other guys out there that you can invite to the club and make this guy jealous.
To be fair, this is her friend her entire life.
That's true.
But
That's a
why?
good point, yeah.
Why did she drag him to a harem club instead of just confessing her feelings to the boy she walks to school with every day?
Yeah, I mean, she's not that far off Natsuki, so I feel like if we never met Natsuki, we... Like...
If she confessed her feelings, we were so horny and desperate at the beginning. We would have been like, oh yeah, Sayuri.
Let's get that bread. The most I can do is support Sayuri through her feelings and help her on the path that's right, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayuri's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayuri will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. Yeah, like super friend-zoned.
Day of the festival. Oh no.
Yeah. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayuri, but Sayuri isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayuri and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Ash, you're the first one here. I'm saving. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have pages of saves. So.
Yeah, I could just keep flipping over,
Yeah.
so I should just do that. You're the first one here. Thanks for being early.
That's funny. I thought at least Yoi would be here by now.
Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing.
Cool.
Jeez, have we just plagiarized somebody for this? I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayuri with you.
Yeah, she overslept again.
That dummy. You'd think that on a day this important, she'd try a little harder.
I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayuri told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Ash. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know?
Exchange?
Ah. Monica, you know about... Oh, you said that. Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all.
But
I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayuri really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right?
Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so...
Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think.
She banged her elbow.
Monica's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice.
Yeah, sure.
I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks.
Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously.
Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice.
what's this?
I flipped to Sayuri's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. This one that I haven't read before.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm not reading that, but this part. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. That's weird. Okay.
Ah!
What is this? Reading the poem, I got a pit in my stomach. Ash? What's wrong?
Nothing.
This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayuri's written. But more than that,
I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayuri, so...
well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls out after
I'm
me.
fucking bolting.
I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayuri. It's not a big deal, at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things would be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs. And what I want to give her. I reach Sayuri's house and knock on the door. I don't expect her to answer, since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in.
Sayuri?
Oh, I'm nervous. She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all, waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayuri's room, I knock on her door.
Sayuri! Wake up, dummy!
There's no response.
I am so
Yeah,
scared.
she's fucking dead. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Happy music? Oh my god. An exception has occurred.
Okay.
What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? The music. It has to be. This isn't real.
Yeah, the music makes it hella not
Jesus,
comfortable.
there's no way this can be real. Sayuri wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayuri I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession. That has to be what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do to bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 Never.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay.
Sayuri's just gone.
Everything is Monica. Yes.
I am like,
Just Monica.
so now what? Do we go into load or do we press this?
What does that do? Let's see.
Oh, I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she may draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other so long. I'm gonna skip.
We need a Peppy.
Whoa. Yeah, we could start a new game.
That's what we did.
I guess that's what we did.
Yeah.
Like, we could also load into the game again, too. But this is interesting, too. Okay. So now things are getting interesting. Is it crashing my game? Nope.
A little bit.
It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content, just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Yeah, I might do that too. We'll see. I'm curious to see where this goes now.
Yeah, I feel like there's many things you can do. This game, there's things to it.
Anyway.
Clubs.
There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Ash?
Monica?
Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has.
Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little...
What did you come in here for anyway?
Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers?
I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right?
About that, I actually quit the debate club.
Really? You quit?
Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing around the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it.
In that case, what club did you decide to join?
Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club.
Literature.
That sounds kind of dull.
How many members do you have so far?
It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring.
Well, I can see that.
But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my new members even keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature, too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right?
Did Monica say she?
Hey, Ash. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join?
I mean, I guess so, but...
In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse something like Monica?
Sure, I guess I could check it out.
You just call her something.
No, said someone, I'm pretty
Someone? Okay. Yeah, someone. I'm like, okay.
I mean, not gonna lie, I feel like something is probably accurate.
Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Ash. You know that?
It's nothing really.
Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important.
Your soul is more important.
And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile.
Yeah.
Says it again. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back! And I brought a guest with me. Huh? A guest?
Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Ash. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not.
Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. So she's the vice president in this now. Because that was
nice to
Sayuri.
meet both of you.
That was Sayuri's role before. So I ran into Ash in a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great?
Wait, Monica? Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought in anyone new? I was gonna, well, you know.
Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him.
I didn't get to make cupcakes.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Ash?
Well, you better with some cupcakes.
Yeah, because Sayuri would have talked to them about that, and...
First, yeah.
Yeah, so this is cool. The timeline's different now. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. Must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki?
Well, I guess.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same girl. I did that last time. I did that the exact sentence. If you look back in the VOD, that is funny as fuck.
That's funny. Yeah.
Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. Yeah, that's not deep. That's just me fucking up conveniently at the same time. That's funny. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us, before setting down the teapot in the middle.
Yeah. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teacher gives us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea hope you enjoy a good book?
With with cupcakes. Yeah, I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I admit that, you know.
I believe you.
Well, tea... Oh.
Tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Ash, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well,
Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that.
manga.
I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change.
What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile.
Anyway, what about you, Yui?
Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. I think I'm gonna start skipping lines that are the same for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you wanted we could get off at any point too, because we have been streaming for more than 2 hours and it's after 10 now.
Things are just starting to get interesting,
I
though.
know, but that makes us want to come back for another stream then soon.
You're right. Okay, fine. I'll save.
Oh!
Huh. It's funny that you gave us that winky face forever ago, Elephant Toe, because I didn't really, we finally went and looked at our saves and they're gone, so... I'm glad saving matters so much. At least gets us back to where we need to be later. Anyways, that's, yeah, so we can't go back even if we fucking wanted to. That's the only option. I'm glad that there's not...
Well, I'm glad it kind of progresses along the timeline. Like,
yeah, because I was getting confused there and was worried that if I kept going this way, like, I would miss out on something the other way, but, I mean, we could have still, we still could have done that if we were fast enough. We could have just, like, reverted the save instead of killing her. I still think she would have died.
I've heard the Sayori event. Something happens to Sayori, but it isn't always suicide.
Okay, well, she's like... Oh man, this reminds me of Madoka Magica.
It does, and I like it. I also like games that are, or animes that are like long timelines, like Steins Gate. We love that anime.
Yeah, so. Great anime, by the way.
Like, animes that fuck with timelines, or like, Undertale's good too, because that also has like timeline mechanics.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
very up our alley.
Anyways.
Definitely excited to come back.
We'll be back with more of this soon.
Yeah.
Probably
either later this week or maybe next Sunday.
Maybe tomorrow, perhaps.
Yeah.
If we feel up to it.
See what we're doing.
But we do post these to YouTube and stuff after, so if you guys want to see that, go check out Arc&Ashe at YouTube. I don't have a link to show you guys because YouTube's just stupid about that kind of stuff. But you could also check out the links down below and see Ash's stuff, personal links down there.
All the links to my social media is down below.
Yeah, and some of mine are down there as well. If you want to see me, Project Supervillains, where it's at, look for the big skull down in the about section there. And I'll be back on Friday and Saturday for sure for the streams over there. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's.
Tired. Yeah.
That's it for tonight's stream, Goosey.
Yeah. I'm gonna go do other streaming item things. Bye.
Bye, guys.